Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington, and Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is the gift that keeps on giving, but I think we're tired of the gifts at this point, especially with everything that is going on. But before we dive in, you guys know the drill. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and share this. Share with a friend, anybody who likes to have a fun kiki, anybody who puts on our candy cane critical thinking caps, and you just want to have fun. You just want to have a fun kiki and join the party. So share this. You can hit that super thanks if you want, and definitely check out the description box. We have so much going on down there. You guys are not going to want to miss it. But with that, let's dive in. So, Miss Kyle Richards is the sniper from the side, the snake, the Kathy Hilton hater that we all know she has been. At first, I thought Kyle was just like, kind of producing things. It was just kind of being annoying and, just being Kyle, but like no harm, no foul. Now I'm kind of like, oh, Kyle, girl, what are you doing? So we all know that Teddi Mellencamp is basically a single white female when it comes to Kyle. They go everywhere together. She completely is just like all up Kyle's butt. Kyle can do no wrong in her eyes. She just basically is Kyle's little minion. She follows her around. She even dyed her hair brown at one point, trying to look like her. It was this whole situation. And we all are just like, Teddi, boring Mellencamp, like, relax. Like, girl, get your own identity. Stop being up Kyle's butt. So we all know that. They're still really, really close, even though Teddi got, let go from the show. Kyle and Teddi are still really friends. Now, we all know that Teddi has been very, very problematic on her podcast, Two Peas in the Pod, that she was doing with Tamra Judge, but I believe Tamra Judge is leaving the podcast because she's going to film The Real Housewives of OC. She got her orange back, so I don't think she's going to film while doing the podcast. So I think they were saying maybe Cynthia Bailey was going to come in and sort of, fill Tamra's shoes while she's filming. I don't know. We'll see if the podcast even lasts that long. Don't forget, Teddi had said very callous, calculated, just mean things about LVP, being like, oh, why were people expecting us to give LVP grace about her brother when she wasn't even close to her brother when he passed? She never even talked about it. But, now I see because Rinna's going through it with the passing of her mother and her grieving process, blah, 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 blah. Basically trying to be Rinna's mouthpiece and saying, well, you all expected us to be kind, simply kind to LVP, who's grieving the loss of not only her brother, but also her mother. And so we need to give Rinna that same grace and kindness because Rinna's been losing her mind and being mean to everyone. No, Teddi. People quickly posted clips and videos and all of that of LVP clearly talking about how she was grieving the loss of her brother to you directly, Teddi, in general, but also to you particularly. So you're lying. You knew she was close to her brother. And even if she wasn't, when somebody loses someone, that is so hard. And you can't tell someone how to grieve and you can't tell someone what their process is, but you knew she was close to her brother and you knew she was grieving. So you're lying. You're trying to make excuses for why you guys were so mean and disrespectful to LVP because you guys got the pack. That's why the Fox Spy Force was even formed. It was formed to take down LVP. That's why you guys came together in the first place. So you knew she was grieving. You thought she was weak and vulnerable, so you guys took your shots. You already had to, eat crow and do your fake apology on your podcast. Now you want to get up on your podcast and attack Kathy. You got on your podcast talking about, who does Kathy think she is? Why does she expect special treatment in Aspen? She doesn't partake in any of the activities. She didn't ski or do the snowmobile, but then she just shows up halfway through and expects the ladies to be interested in her tequila. Like, who does she think she is? Why does she expect that she doesn't have to participate, but then they have to, care about the tequila? Why does she expect to get away with that? Teddi, boring Mellencamp, I'll tell you why. simply because she's Kathy. Okay, boo boo? Simply because she's Kathy. First of all, Bravo begs Kathy to be on the show, not the way you beg Kyle to get you back on the show. And quiet as it's kept, I'll be honest with you, I bet you Kyle could have got you back on the show. They kept Ding Dong Dorit, who isn't doing a damn thing on the show for how long. They could have kept you, Teddi, if Kyle actually fought for you. So now you're windmilling on your podcast for, Lisa Rinna and LVP. Now you're windmilling for Kyle to go against Kathy. When truth be told, if Kyle really pushed for as much as Kyle produces, for as much pull as she thinks she has at Real House of Beverly Hills, I'm not saying after this season, I'm talking about prior to this season, because we all know this season is just a mess. It's almost just like a wash. You probably could have at least been a friend of, at the very least. So you are having Kyle's back so much, but is she actually having your back? And I don't believe for a second, that you got on your podcast and tried to check Kathy without Kyle's explicit go ahead, without her co-signing it, without her saying yes. We already talked about this. Kyle is so disrespectful and dismissive and jealous of Kathy all of the time. Not only does she allow Erica, Rinna, Dorit, Diana to be disrespectful to Kathy, she co-signs it. She endorses it. She revels in it. She enjoys it. So you're not going to tell me that Kyle was not behind the narrative, the excuse that you're now trying to put out on your podcast. We all are saying how it's been leaked that, Kathy is really saying, listen, Kyle really was the reason why I popped off in Aspen. We've all seen the poking and the poking and the poking with the whole situation. And that Kyle sort of just like, okay, I get it. I owe you an apology. I'm really sorry. Blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to keep the peace. Farrah's getting married. Let's keep the peace in the family. So to me, that's real snakish behavior. Very, very snakish behavior. Because on one hand, Kyle, you're trying to save face. At the reunion, online, on Watch What Happens Live, on social media, you're trying to act like you had a come to Jesus moment and you realize that you were just being a really shitty sister to your sister. You're being really shitty to her. Kathy did not deserve any of that. Point blank, period. Kathy is interesting. She's fun. She's down to earth. She's a vibe. She's a whole situation. She's a whole situation. So yes, who does Kathy think she is? She's Kathy Hilton and she can do it, okay? The way you can do it. Like, for example, Garcelle. Garcelle may not have the strongest quote unquote storyline, but Garcelle is that girl. She comes with personality. She comes with a point of view. She comes with the question. She's that girl. And that's why we really relate to her and we like her. She's enjoyable to watch. She's fun. She's a key, right? I don't even know what Sutton's storyline is, really. I mean, I guess she's dating and being kooky and she has her store and her kids. Those are all really cute and fun storylines. But same, Sutton's a vibe. She's quirky and, she pushes back. She has questions. Her and Garcelle are a vibe because it's a genuine friendship. Kathy's a vibe. The reason why Kathy and Garcelle and Sutton are fan favorites because they show up as who they are and they just chill and they have fun. It's not so fake. It's not so phony. It's not so pre-described. It's not so it's not this fake narrative they're trying to push onto us. So yes, Kathy can just show up and have that be enough. Okay, Teddi? Why don't you, Teddi, first of all, you're not getting back on the show. So stop. Focus on your podcast because as long as you keep using your podcast as a way to try and do digs at LVP, to do digs at Kathy on behalf of the faux Fox 5, you're about to be canceled. So stop. Stop it, Teddi. Just stop. And Kyle, you stop too. That's some real snakish behavior. We're not dumb. We know good and well you want to put the counter narrative out that somehow you and the girls were justified in being disrespectful and dismissive to Kathy because who does Kathy think she is not to participate in your boring ski trips. Like, I don't really want to see you on the slopes. You can miss me with that. I don't care. Okay. I don't care. You tell us the same boring stories about you and Mauricio. When me and Mauricio were dating, we used to go skiing and blah, blah, blah. And then I got to come. We've heard it 5 times. Shut up, Kyle. We got it. We got it. So you just should be thankful that Kathy even shows up. Kathy gives the show a boost, and that is just point blank, period. So the fact that now you're trying to put out this counter narrative that you guys were justified in bullying and poking at and being mean to Kathy, that blows my mind. How many times have we sat through the agency? You guys wearing those hats and the t-shirts, agency, agency, agency. How many times have we had to sit through Pica de Gallo with Dorit? I don't even know what that was. She basically like picked out wallpaper at a restaurant that already existed. You know, how many Lisa Rinna Beauty's fake launches did we have to sit through? You know what I mean? How many times did we have to do Eileen by Kyle? I don't even know what that was. That whole like curating schmucks situation. How many times did we have to sit through Rinna Rose, which was such a mock and ripoff off of LVP? So we sat through all of your stuff. Kathy doesn't have to participate in these little shenanigans that you guys do. Kathy just showing up is the vibe. It is the vibe. She's more interesting with her fan and her slippers, and she's hanging out and she can't see and she's just like laughing and it's a good kiki. Like, Kathy showing up is the vibe. So stop trying to put this narrative out there, Kyle. You lost so much respect. Like, if you really just would have said, you know what, I messed up. I need to do better by my sister. I need to stop disrespecting her. I need to stop allowing and co-signing my friends, quote unquote, to disrespect her. I need to do better. That is what would have been the move, Kyle. Not getting your little chihuahua mouthpiece, Teddi Boring Mellencamp, to go on her podcast and again disrespect your sister. And nobody believes that Teddi did it without you co-signing it. Teddi doesn't even fart. Teddi doesn't sneeze without your say-so. You know what I mean? Teddi is so far up your butt. She doesn't do anything without your permission. So you're not going to sit here and say you didn't know what Teddi was going to say about your sister. You probably told her what to say. Because as always, you're still jealous. You're still being a hater. And you're still trying to shuck responsibility. At the end of the day, Kyle, you were mean to your sister. You were disrespectful. You allowed other people to disrespect her. And she popped off on you the way people pop off on people that continuously annoy and bully and push them. Point blank, period. Let it go. Take accountability. Teddi, hush up. Hush up. Focus on Eddie's business. There's rumors about your husband and his business. So maybe you need to focus on that instead of getting on your podcast trying to bully Kathy and LVP. Is that the way you're going to get clicks and views? Is by keeping LVP's name in your mouth? LVP doesn't speak of you. Is that how you're going to get clicks and views, by keeping Kathy's names in your mouth? You weren't even on the season. You weren't on the show. What is your podcast about? I'm confused. So miss me with all of this, Teddi. All right. With that, you guys, I'm going to go work out and then get some dinner. So that's it. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you believe that Kyle really was the snake behind this? That she kind of wound Teddi up, told Teddi what to say to get her fake narrative out, and then Teddi did her little, she was a good little soldier and got her podcast and said this weird narrative about who does Kathy think she is? How does she expect to, you know, whatever on the show if she doesn't participate in the weird activities that nobody even cares about? What do you think? Do you think that maybe Kyle didn't know? Maybe this is just Teddi going out, being Teddi. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it was wrong for Teddi to say this at all in general? What are you thinking about Kathy with Aspen and Kyle and the girls? Put it all below in the comment box. But before you do, be sure to like this video, you guys. It really helps me. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and share this with a friend. It's a free way to support and expand our community. So share, share, share. Check out the show notes or the description box below with everything going on in it, and hit that super thanks if you want to. With that, you guys, I love you. Take care of yourself and each other. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review and join the conversation on Instagram at Candy Washington. Let's go!